like to start this June 17th, 2024. I'd like to begin with warrants, and we have quite a few warrants today. Ashley was wonderful. She took care of everybody's payrolls and whatnot all at one time, since we're almost at the end of the year. So I'd like to move that we accept payroll number 112 for $24,027.44, and that includes the staff as well as and the board for this one.
All the stipends that have been paid.
Right. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would like to make a motion that we approve payroll number 113 for $5,813.10. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And that is all for the Westport Island Volunteer Fire Department. I'd like to move that we approve accounts payable, the payroll number 114 for $1,323.20. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that payroll was for all the elections staff who worked last week. And fourthly, I'd like to move that we accept accounts payable number 115 for $126,267.71. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that is for the RSU budget and the also for the transfer station. So that's why that one was so high this time. I'd like to move that we accept the minutes for June 10th, 2024 select board meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, let's sign that. And what I'd like to do, it's not in the agenda today, but I'd like to just share the election results. And April, do you have those handy? If not, I have them handy.
Andy, take it away.
All right. Kim Lynch won the select board seat with 171 votes to 22 blanks and 14 write-ins from various entities. Barbara Cray won the school board seat with 49 write-ins, 150 blanks, and 12 write-ins from various entities. So those were the ones that really concern us for the school board and for the select board. All right, let's go to citizens issues. Did you have a citizens issue, or you're going to talk about it?
Here, Dennis's requested.
Okay, so we'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk about that shortly. I actually had an issue that was brought to my attention, and it really involves the roads. And I'll read it to you. I am writing to express my concern about the culvert area across from the McNamara driveway. That's on East Shore Road. I have brought this to the attention in the past. There are two reasons why I want to see some examination of this area again. The storms of heavy rain and massive tides last winter, spring eroded this area again from both landside and shoreside. There is an ever expanding area near the culvert and extending under the road area. There have been countless heavy equipment vehicles traversing this road in the past couple of years. I am concerned that this could be both a terrible accident and an environmental disaster for the cove if the erosion continues. Please advise me of next steps to have attention brought to this concern. And I did tell I'd bring it to the board tonight, and that you would probably be here. Any thoughts on this? Are you aware of it? And any thoughts?
Okay. First thing, they haven't really got out and examined what's going on there.
You have to get out. This individual had flagged it 2 years ago. You know, I talked about it with Gary Cromwell at the time, and then went and investigated. And so the bank going down from the road leads down into the cove, and you've got an outflow from culvert there on that side. And she's concerned about the erosion coming out of the walking on the culvert. You know,
Some correct culverts. Unless you.
Yeah.
Looking for it. Did you notice if it was a steel culvert there, plastic?
I don't remember. It's not, my memory wouldn't be reliable at this point.
Okay.
No, but I talked about what I found with Gary, and he said, no, it's fine, but I think it would be good to have someone knowledgeable actually look at it.
The culvert maybe needs rock, the shoulder road
So that's a road.
constantly trickling there
Yeah.
and grade.
Some riprap or something maybe to help stabilize, you know, think about it.
Thank you. I will let her know that. All right, John, you're here and I'm on citizens issues right now. Did you have a citizens issue?
No, I was just gonna report briefly on the status for health and planning.
Okay, so how about if I put you after roads? And since we were talking about citizens issues, let's talk about roads. How are they doing?
I guess we finished on Saltwell Road today. It's all 270 feet on the drain. Hoping it cures what's been going on here and down there.
There's some massive work going on there on Shortwell the other day.
Yeah.
As we went by 3 or 4 times.
Hit a few other spots that led to the creeping out into the ditch line. Trying to get the road drained out. So I got water regraded, removed a little bit of the cobblestone, fine North Whitefield cobblestones. And put some finished gravel over the 2 areas that had cobblestone. Yes, I wasn't really good.
Well, they were a big,
Well, exactly.
you know, good speed bump for you.
So now the next complaint is speeder, but that's this. But I feel we got the road in pretty good shape. You always want to do more, you know. Somewhere. It's next spring will be the true test. Like I just told you, I feel pretty confident when I see all that water coming into the village.
Yeah.
Oh, it's time to dump it down low.
Yeah. You can sort of, or already see the path that the water's taken.
Yeah. So that's in pretty good shape, guess we'll see, Bay Shore Road will probably be the next thing here in a couple of weeks, we'll see. We'll talk more about that later after town meeting, because I know you guys got a lot on your plate right now. So the coal patch still isn't done, I'm really. Nothing about it. I'll do it this Saturday, but I got town meeting. It's gonna happen. So.
All right. Related to the roads, there's actually, this is where, we've been starting to look at the main infrastructure adaptation grants. So we originally talked about the stream grants and, Dennis Dunbar was with us last week and we listened to the webinar on that and decided that, because those grants required, it was up to $200,000, but it required the design and a finished product. And we said that can't be done. So then we were looking at the main infrastructure adaptation grant, and actually towns can apply for up to 3 grants. So then we looked at different areas that might be the issue, and one of the areas was Heels Cove, and there's no, and not Heels Cove, Doggett Road. And there isn't much information on that. Jim and I will meet and see if we can't put together something on that, but that's an area that with that, we can ask for a $75,000 grant that would just give us the design is all that we would look at with that. And then the other one was the one that Dennis started. And actually, I was shocked at how much he got done, considering that he was getting ready to go in the hospital. Yeah. And you said you had an update on that? So you want to talk?
I sent you. With some links in.
Yep, and I have not seen it.
They're all,
Yep.
you know, that, because he had visiting in a workshop. And, you know, I think it needs work.
Mhm.
My understanding is the issue with this is it's a fairly significant amount of money that's available, but the town has to come up with like 5%.
Yep.
Which is like $60,000. And, you know, I think there's a couple of pieces that I'd like to see on this, if I were doing the study. Is, first of all, the person who probably knows more about both the Heel Cove than anybody in Scotty Office,
Mhm,
she lives there.
mhm.
And my understanding is the part of the water quality is degraded significantly in the pond due to the poor exchange between the pond and the back river. And that's what this, you know, would fix. Now, the question I would have, I read that in the preliminary design idea is they said it would be 1 foot below mean high tide. I wondered if that is enough, would you get enough exchange, because you're only gonna be above that 1 foot below mean high tide, to a very limited team each day. So how much exchange you're gonna get during that time? Or maybe you need it to be lower, but I think that this is what the engineer, Greg Pierce, is figuring out.
Right, right.
Well, it's, I mean, but again, this is, we're asking for, we're going for engineering. So we can say what we'd like to be able to, the objective, I think, is again, to be, to just restore to some extent the quality of that wetland and pond. But it may be, that's not, you know, what we've got so far may not be the right answer.
Well, I don't know.
Well, we're going actually to get the money to pay for getting a detailed engineering.
But, you know, let's,
Yeah, originally we were thinking of going for 75,000, which would just do the engineering. And I saw where Dennis was talking about, because there's also another, I think up to $4 million or something that you could get. And
but we'd have to come up with 5%.
exactly. 5% of 75,000 is a lot more doable.
Yeah. So, yeah, because unfortunately, we're not ready to go for the 4 million.
Yeah,
The thing is good to have the engineering done,
mhm,
because eventually real estate values in something on the island and infrastructure, there may be more money available through other grants. So if we have the engineering there, on the shelf,
well, that's what we're thinking with Doggett Road that Jim and I were talking about earlier, that, you know, even if you can't do anything now and it's not a priority, but if you can get money to do that plan, then it's set. And then you can, when you see other grants come, you can actually, you know, see about doing something about it.
the other things to help too, because I think the water quality issue could be significant. And also this might have better recreational opportunities if the water quality is better.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, these things that, I mean, I know about hydrology and hydraulics, that's my expertise, I know nothing about fish and wetlands and all that other stuff, you know, that's what you hire somebody else to do.
Right, right. Well, I don't know what notes you had there, but it seems like if, you know, it looked like from Dennis's first take, he was looking at doing the full thing.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at it, Jeff, you were gonna look at it, I'll look at it, and, but maybe if we think about it as being a $75,000 grant to just look at a plan versus, you know,
But that's probably all you're gonna, you can hope.
That's all we can do. We can't do the 4
I
million.
think you need to have the engineering done.
Yeah.
And then we can talk, you know, then we can talk about it, because,
Mhm.
you know, it's not the only Christian thing on the island, you know.
Yeah, when I saw his email about 5%, and do you think the town can handle 65,000? It was like, no. We'll talk about this on Monday, because that wasn't what we were thinking on Thursday.
Well, I think that's, you know,
And actually, the 5% also included in kind. So it wasn't just cash, so but still 5% of 75,000 is a lot more doable than,
yeah, well, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may get a hurricane that's all that'll wash out the causeway completely, and then we got to put the point of conversation.
well,
We went down and seen the plans to say, all right,
Mhm.
this is what we need to do to replace it.
Yeah,
We just saved a year's worth of time right there.
yeah, and Jim was just mentioning, I went down Squam Creek Road, Squam Road. No, it's East Shore Road. I want to call it Squam Creek Road. East Shore Road 4 times today. And Jeff, Jim, you want to talk about what's happening
Oh,
there?
sure.
Yes, West Shore,
What-
east, west.
The same the same thing is happening with that causeway since the breach this winter. That happened out at Heel Cove with the fine falling out. And falling down through the cracks in the bigger rocks.
They're getting sinkholes.
And creating
Yep.
sinkholes and
Yep.
that's why the cone and some spray paint down there. That showed up after the January 12th storm.
Yeah,
So I feel, and as the picture, the front page of the town report said it all. That's what we can see.
mhm, right, you don't know what else
Same
is
thing
under
down
there.
Connie's. We know what we can see,
Mhm,
that's all we know.
yeah.
Right.
So I think the more that we can do get some funds to really do a good, plan. Somebody who knows what they're doing, knows what to look for. So both of those are due on, the 1st of July. So, but, I think we're going for both of those, at least that's the present intent. I haven't had a chance to talk to Jim about the Dog Road, and like I said, there's really not much research or anything there, so, we just have to be savvy in what we say. All right, anything else that you wanted to add with that, Dick?
I got another email today. It's of interest, maybe of interest, I don't know, this is off the subject. But, we're looking to invite you to join the state-led application of EPA clean heavy-duty vehicles funds.
Heavy duty,
Well, what they're thinking is you'll be able to get an electric school bus. Or, maybe you would like it, I don't know whether we have the term owns a vehicle. You don't go around farming or behind somebody else, or we have somebody that runs around in a vehicle and is employed by the town, so, maybe. We could get him an electric truck,
can you send us that,
um,
or did you already?
I was sent to me.
And can you
from
send it
Ashland
to us?
Click, and it's the opportunity to join state-led grant application with class 6 and 7 electric trucks. Which includes a school bus and might include a heavy duty pickup or something like that.
I wonder if RSU 12 has looked at that.
RSU 12 has selected school buses, they're having difficulty putting them on a route.
Hmm. Didn't they have to order them and it took a couple years or something? I think that they-
Making problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of it's the quality of
It just really doesn't have DPWs per se,
No,
so I'm not sure that we would have a. A good case for buying, like we did our own plow or something.
yeah, it'd be nice to give Jim his own
Give
car,
him an
or
electric
his
truck.
own truck, but he can just borrow Jeff's.
No. That's
All right.
nice though.
Jeff, anything to add to that main infrastructure conversation?
Maybe at this point, we could then bring in the main coastal program point.
Yes, instead of where I have it.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, that, again. There's two grant programs through the state, and this is talking about applying to those two. But there's also an opportunity with with NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. And their focus is on restoration, habitat and wetland restoration. And the state is going to apply and is looking for projects to incorporate into the state proposal. And I think this would be a good thing when we talk about the Heel Cove. Actually, is something. So this can be, we can go to multiple places for money. We don't have, and if we get two grants, well, that's fine. We'll net it up.
That's the argument for doing all of the upfront work and knowing
Right.
what the alternatives are, and we need, and what we'd like to do was look around for sources.
right.
So to get started with this particular opportunity, though, the state would like to have like a 30-minute call. So and then they can see whether the project is a good fit that they want to bring it forward. There's again the feds. This is coming from federal money. It's 44 million total. So you spread it out across all the states. That's not actually a lot of money. We'll see how much we get. But there have been other grants that have gone by that focus on restoration of wetland habitat. So this, I don't think is going to be the only time we see that. So, but what I'd like to move is that we say that yes, we're interested in talking to the state. see if we can get incorporated in this program. And then they'll schedule a meeting, with the select board, sometime probably in July. So that's my motion, that we raise your hand, say, yes, we'd like to be considered for inclusion in the program.
Sure, we can at least look at it. I would second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right.
Now, did you get those? I'll send it to you. Okay. Let's go then to the report update.
Briefly, thank you again for appointing, me on as our board member. Unfortunately, we lost Joanne, as you may know, she resigned. As regular member, so now we're on four regular members. Thank you to April for the advertisement for junior kids. I don't think anybody's heard of anybody who's volunteering, but
Well,
we can keep the best.
we had someone, I thought that was flagged, by, Emily Round. Was that the planning board? But she was, someone who's just moved on to the island, but, that was that Conservation Commission?
Yeah. Yeah, no, the thing.
Does Dick know about it?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Area, so, I understand there may be a new candidate, once the election is finalized, so
end of the month.
that should help. But at any rate, so I just want to report on the status of our membership. As a result of that and April's coaching on the timing, we decided to postpone the election of the officers, particularly the chairperson, until after the first. We did talk about beginning to work on projects for updating regulations consistent with ordinances, consistent with the comprehensive plan. And we're taking action to begin to implement the comprehensive plan. And more revising the ordinances to make them more consistent and user friendly.
We're revising ordinances.
So, in terms of the town hall or annual meeting on the 22nd, let me know if you want me to prepare to talk about the LD 2003 and the nuisance ordinance. So we'll follow your meeting. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thanks,
all that you
John.
do. All right, down in correspondence, I had one thing, and that was from CMP. Who says that they will be working in Westport beginning around July 1st to replace existing poles with new ones and transferring the utility services onto these new poles. It should not cause any road closures or delays, and it'll take about 4 weeks. And so just be aware that CMP will be around. And I don't know if you want to make sure that, I think you already put it in your last notice, April, that's maybe just to warn people, especially going around corners and stuff.
Yeah, that's probably related to their other correspondence that they might be cutting back the trees.
Yes,
They're doing all that replacement.
yeah, but it was a separate note from them, so, and they didn't mention trees there, so, but I guess if they're gonna put up poles, they probably need to take care of the trees as well. Did either of you get any correspondence?
Yeah, I think we all get the correspondence thing from the good enforcement officer about a shoreline zoning violation. So I think I think at this point,
The violation, I thought they were still figuring it out.
well, the thing at this point is that, I think Gary has identified that there is a violation. And that there was not a building permit for the tree cutting activity. So, he sent the landowner a copy of the after the fact building permit and the process for following through with that. And then there'll be further discussion in terms of, how much was cut and whether it is a violation of, shoreline zoning.
And then what the fine will be, yep.
Yeah, but I think that's something that'll come back to the select board in terms of any penalties that are assessed. So it comes back to like the Lombardi, that if there, is a violation, that the select board is the enforcement on, for that violation.
There are other things going on there too, with drainage too, on that property.
That's true, but that's not part of this problem at this point.
Well, oh, okay, that's not the impression I got.
From this letter?
Because of the runoff into the.
Oh, well, maybe on that side, where the cutting is, yes, that could be a factor. You're right. Yeah, that's why he's actually got an erosion control plan that he's done as well.
Right,
But I was thinking of the driveway.
yeah, oh, no, that's, yeah.
So it's not the driveway. But you're right, because of the activity there in the cutting,
Right.
it has an.
It's- Yep,
And, well, so anyway, I think that was an important note that we have, and of course, we're actually taking action on.
And that was based on citizen's issue from last week.
I think it was a comment back from a citizen, but it was not a formal.
Well, yes, but when somebody writes me and says, I have this concern, I feel like it's something we bring. And I know you took it to the planning board, but not planning board,
To the code enforcement.
yeah,
Well, it's actually because you want to be anonymous.
it was actually,
The person wanted to be anonymous.
right. Just like what I said today was anonymous.
Yeah.
Yep, I try to keep them anonymous. Admin items, April, you wanna talk to some of these?
So the wooden flag decoration.
I know, it was here.
Now, I checked last week. and
Because I saw it.
I was wondering why it's been here,
Yeah.
or what it was.
It
Well,
was kind
I'll
of.
try to get to the bottom of that, but, Parkinson Tino. He has some involvement with, a program for Maine prisoners who make these crafts. And they make these flags, they make various designs, and Park was wondering if we might be interested in that for the town. The one he had brought by was just one they happened to have, which was like a blue line law enforcement one, so that, he didn't think that was necessarily the right one for the town office, town hall. But, he said they also make them honor firefighters and just regular ones and things like, so. I don't know a lot more about it other than what I forwarded you from Brooke. I think his intent is to perhaps donate it. There is a charge, and I asked him to provide details on costs, but I didn't really see that in his emails. So I think, when I asked him, will it cost anything? He said he'd be happy to donate it.
So,
It's meant to be indoor or outdoor, do you know?
Finished, they look like they're sealed.
I don't remember seeing any cost either, but, well, he also said that looking at, talking to the cemetery committee and the history committee to offer the products as fundraiser items.
Yeah, we've had a little discussion about that. My limited understanding is that committees don't really do fundraising unless. I don't think they're really allowed to, we have to appropriate, and then if they wanna fundraise, they usually, it's not a C3 like the history did. But I don't really know what the line is there, so I was telling him. Tread with caution, we'll see, and I think he has reached out to Friends of What's Brought Out History. So they're having separate conversations, but.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we would do with them. Other than I could see them as fundraisers. Um. Any thoughts on it? Don't. Here's what
Nice
they
idea.
look like, by the way. It's got some different ones. Oops. And they're just all wooden ones.
Yeah.
Um. I feel like for right now, I'd almost like to postpone this.
Yeah, maybe we can seek some more information from him, see what. Will there be any costs, exactly what, or
Yeah.
are they donated and,
And where he sees us putting them. Because if they're wooden, could they go outside someplace
yeah,
versus having to take indoor space?
yeah.
Because I feel like that's pretty limited. Okay, so, you'll talk to him further and see if you can't get more information.
See if
from
we
him.
can get a little more info.
Okay. All right, next thing was the amendment to committee's policy.
Oh, yes. And this is related to, going to the planning board because. When we were putting together the committee's policy, I believe, I know my intent was, and I think probably your understanding of it was. You would appoint all the new committee members in the June, July turnover time. And then before September, they would hold officer elections, but we didn't put in the policy. After 7/1 and before 9/1, we just put before 9/1, so there's not like, a really clear window in there.
Mhm.
It could be any time before 9/1. So I thought it might be good to add that, so that we were a little bit more clear that we want it to happen after the,
meeting.
the new. More importantly, the new committee members are appointed, I think, so that they get to participate in the officer election, if they're gonna be the ones. Operating under those officers for the next 12 months. So,
So I'd like to move that, we amend the committee's policy to, add the 7/1 as a date. As pretty much a start date to give us that window. Do I have a second? Second, all in favor?
Just if I could,
Yeah.
discussion, I'm not opposed to the amendment, I just would like to actually have it it's proposed as part of the document. So we actually have it in the document.
That's what I was
I
assuming.
didn't give you like a different place, or anything formal like that, but if you want that, I don't think it's super urgent, I could do that. I'm not really sure how we amend a policy, since it's kind of internal.
We're making a change and then we agree to change. So, I mean, so the principle makes, I don't have a problem with principle, I just would like to see the actual thing.
Okay, so you guys wanna vote on like a exact wording change next week? Would that work?
If you wanna give us-
Sooner place,
Yeah.
sort of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
We vote on the policy as a written document, but we should also be voting on the amendments written.
Okay, so we'll on that. You want to talk about the liquor license application?
yeah, and this is from Friends of West Rhode Island History, so Jeff, take it away.
Like if John's wants to make an application.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah. So, under the, liquor regulations, as you understand it, similar to what happened last year. Order to serve alcohol. To actually. We need to get permission from town. Or if you submit an application that for the administrative, so. Playing that same process again this year that we did last year. I think the application there has the map and the diagrams.
Yes, it does.
Jeff was kind enough to let's get together. Exactly. Yeah.
This is kind of.
And I'll be the point person for it. So if there are any questions or concerns about that.
This is. Okay. Yeah, or they be serving the alcohol. Yeah, I'm familiar with the area, so I don't have any questions, do you? You? Nope. Okay, then I'd like to move that we, accept the application for liquor license. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
approve the application for liquor license. Do I have a second? Second, all in favor? Why?
Staying because I'm directly involved.
Okay. So are you gonna sign? Nope.
I guess I could say, it's just. I think I did last year, so yeah, why not?
When is the fundraiser?
July 28th.
And everybody is welcome, not to sign it, ready. Put that out there before you sign it.
Do you want that like advertised in the newsletter and stuff, or is this more of an invite, or what's the?
It's an invitation, but it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's open there. Well, there's limited capacity, so, obviously, 30 people, but let's get the reservation and there's different spots.
Okay, yeah,
I can.
yeah, give me some details if you want it, like in the newsletter or on the website or anything. Yeah.
We're shutting off, the RCPs as of the, I think it's the 27th of this month. So there's not that much time, like 10 more days,
You won't get
So-
in here. Yeah,
you know, so if we don't get all the mark, maybe, but it's, and this is what happened to us last year, we actually advertised after. And we had to then start turning people away, who was it like.
Oh, that's stuff. Okay.
So we'll see how we're going. At this point, we're up, I think with today's mail, probably about 100 of the 160 or 170 capacity.
Wow.
We can have.
you might not wanna advertise it.
So I think we're gonna be,
But will it advertise unless?
if you can come, if you put in your application.
All right, next is just some conversation that they've been having with Gay, and this actually has come up in a discussion that we've had as a board, talking about do people like the CEO know what land is classified as? So if they're gonna go do a site visit, do they know that that's actually open space or designated as tree growth or whatever? And so she didn't know that we were having that conversation, but she was doing her own research, and so she was looking to see what was already available and what isn't. So because there's things like tree growth, working waterfront, farmland, open space, all different options. So she's been, in fact, I just got an email from her shortly. Trio does some things, but not all of them. And so
And these are tax categories.
exactly.
Gary deals with zoning, he doesn't
Right.
necessarily have tax. So
Right, right, but if he goes to an area and he approves something that's in a, protected area, tree growth area.
Yeah.
And shouldn't be there, it's like, it'd be nice to be able to have that information handy, a list of what's available. So, she's been doing some research, but, what we'd like to have is all those categories listed out so that people will know. And I think the last email, she just found some other information, but she was looking for things like farmland. There's a working waterfront classification. So it's not anything that we have to do. I just wanted to share that this is some work that Gay is working on right now, and that hopefully will support her, because it's something we've already talked about as an issue. So that'll be coming soon. And go ahead.
I was just, before we move on to other little business, I
Yep.
have one more thing.
Yep.
If people are done, if you want to discuss this a little more.
No, I was gonna ask any survey thoughts on it. No,
I'm just wondering if we need to do anything for the heat wave coming up this week. Should we say anything on website or Facebook page? Do we allow people to come here? We don't even have ACs up. I'm just starting to get some notices in my email, work email today, and I was wondering if there's anything we should do.
I thought about that too.
WVFD do anything?
I don't think anything's planned, I'm not aware of it, but Jason would be our point of contact to check in. I did see that the county EMA director was alerting us to the Vulcan Road, so I would probably get that. It's the email.
We probably should get ACs up in here.
yeah, it's been all of a sudden like overnight when I saw it was gonna be 90s, and it's like, what?
Who usually puts those in? do we just wrangle them in ourselves? Someone did it last year, but I don't know who did it. In my office, not one of the ones like.
Yeah, well, I don't know, it's been a combination, because I've at least, I know I've taken them out. But it's kind of,
We should probably think about it tomorrow. Yep.
it's usually been an office staff thing to organize.
Yeah, okay, I'll talk to Dee and figure it out.
And then if you need help, I could come and help.
Right. Any other admin items?
It's either that, this is legal business, so let me just jump in. We have, the right landing house, we have 3 estimates now for a roof, distributed them to, select board. And so I just want to make a decision about that for make sure. The good news is at this point, they're, consistent with our warrant. So that's, don't have to worry about it blowing the budget, we're just gonna be voting on. Secondly, the continuing issue with the water line. The plan is this week to dig down and explore the water line close to the house manually and see if we can see anything from where the breach was before. But hopefully out of that, we'll be able to make a decision whether we can go forward and fix it there, or we're gonna have to do a more extensive excavation. And there, it may be, again, past some rough ideas in the past, we may need some, it'd be helpful to have someone knowledgeable about the excavation.
So. Yeah, if you knew right where they passed it before, chances are. That's where you're right.
Yeah.
Especially if they use the plastic. Union.
That's Richard's recollection, Richard DeGrease's recollection. So we'll see. So fingers crossed that's it. But it does mean that in front of the right landing house, it'll be a little dug up until we do fix it. So it won't be as pretty. The next.
Doing that this week? 90-degree weather, do we?
Well, yeah, we'll see. That's, I'm expecting to be out there in the shovel.
I'm not planning on missing any work myself this week. The show goes on.
Yeah. So those are ones that I think are some other. Yes.
So Thursday, we can review those estimates and then be prepared Monday to come up with a decision. Right, and then under other legal business, I had a request to use legal funds to pay the lawyer to research Mosier land. We've tried to get a hold of the lawyer. He has talked to me, but he doesn't talk to me much. And part of it is because first question out of his mouth when I talked to him was, who's going to be paying for his services? So, and I was hoping we could sort of lump our way through and get maybe Rumco to pay for it, but he's not responding. And I thought, well, if the town was willing to say, we'll pay for you to help us figure out how we can get this land. I mean, can we have this acre that we want for the 18 acres that we've been trying to get? And since we have a legal fund, I wanted to see if the board would allow me to talk to the lawyer and be willing to pay one so that we'd have to do something.
What's the objective?
The objective is to see, right now, what he has told me is that he is a lawyer that represents Rumco. And in order to access the 18 acres, we need some kind of access. Yes, so we want about an acre. Jim and I did the research. He figured out a place where we could go in without too much trouble. It still need to be blasted, but it would be about an acre that we would need. And I have talked to the lawyer about it. And he doesn't seem to move beyond that. He'll talk to me, but then he doesn't do the research. And the research is to find out who actually gives the okay. There's supposed to be a trust Rumco Trust. When that trust, and there was a committee evidently, this is going back, and that's, he hasn't pushed on the research. There supposedly was a committee and a trust that is in charge of Rumco. And so the lawyer can't say, yes, we can give you an easement. It has to go through this trust or whatever, and I'd like to get the lawyer to do the research to say, who do we talk to? Would you talk to him? And can we have, like, access? Can we have an easement on this? And so, I know we talked to lawyers about a lot of other things, so, but I didn't want to do that without talking to.
He represents the
Rumco.
Association or whatever they call it.
Yes, yes. I think it's a trust or something.
This just sounds kind of almost like, no, it's not right, but it's like holding us, because it's sort of information that he should know.
Yes, he
Seems
does,
like that.
well, he doesn't know.
It should be public.
I could see paying a lawyer to draft out the easement. And then,
Yeah.
but trying to find out who makes the decision, that sounds to me like.
He's obviously holding a whole thing ransom, he's trying to generate some fees.
Son, you're a retired lawyer. You got a thought?
Yeah, so this is my coach attorney.
Yeah, and he's new. He's only recently taking it over, and in conversation, he found out that there was this trust that had been organized. He threw out some names to me. He said, are these people on this committee? And they're people that I know. I think Jeff's name is on it. I think Jim Wild's name's on it. He gave me all these names. He doesn't know them. He was reading them off. It looks like when this Rumco Association was established, that there was also a trust. And so he was learning about it as we're talking.
Land, the acre of land that you're
18 acres.
18 acres.
Yeah, but actually, you're right, 1 acre. We want an easement to get onto
We
the.
have 18 acres.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get access to.
But you need open for Rockco.
Yes.
In order.
Yeah.
You-
Yes,
Oh. Well, I'm curious, you need, you know, because he has a conflict of interest. You can't. You. Do it.
Got
You can't. You know, same time. Oh, yeah, it's
got
fine.
it.
So, 2 options. One is go to your attorney
Which,
and
yeah,
say, hey, here's the deal. Here's their attorney.
go talk to
You
him.
guys need to.
Yeah.
Figure out how to make it happen.
And if Ron Poe attorney is belly aching about not to pay, man, you're, that's cool.
And that's why I haven't done anything up to now, but it's like, I would like to. Push him a little bit, nudge him a little bit.
Yeah, but here's the other. Why? But you're trying to say, can you help us connect them? Other is you go straight to you bypass attorney. Who are the citizens, residents he represents? You could talk to them all day long as one party. Until they say we represent attorney. It sounds like they're saying that to you right now, so you could talk to the residents, whoever is wanting that. So is it HOA associations?
No, they don't have enough, owners, there aren't enough houses or enough people that live there to make it an HOA yet.
Who owns that money? That's why.
Rumco Association, Rumco, LLC,
Yeah.
there's hundreds of acres there, hundreds of acres that are just sitting there.
Who's he gonna talk?
Supposedly this trust or this,
Supposedly somebody hired him, which I would have thought was the trust.
yeah,
Well, if you don't have contact, you know, you're on this always spell. Then
I have to go through the lawyer because the lawyer is not
Yeah.
even sure what
Yeah.
the situation, I don't think anybody's quite sure what the situation is. That's what I've gathered.
Johnson, not. Need to get. Lawyer. Lawyer. It's great.
Maybe push him a little bit, nudge him a little.
Say, hey, listen. Because your attorney. Be able to find out. Who it is that's. Calling the shots and checks.
Yeah, I just don't want it to be, okay, one, I don't wanna spend a lot of money on the lawyers. And two, I don't want it to be a situation where our lawyer is pushing the other lawyer, because then he can easily say, nope, we're not gonna give this 1 acre.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
so
whole
I've
thing.
been trying to be nice about it. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Seems like starting to know who the. Players are in this.
Mike Stern has been real clear who I need to talk to, and it's not him anymore. Yes, yes, I've talked to Mike Stern.
Alright,
Yeah.
I know Mike. He's still-
Yes, he's out. Yes,
Another comment. And I haven't any research on this, obviously, it was violence in the past, one of the issues. One of the things they want to talk to on his eminent domain, I mean. For this land, you could just. Oh, it's process for you.
But this account we're getting somewhere a little hint, because we have this land and one of the ideas that's on the table, but the town hasn't voted on it, is to have that be used for public recreation. And there's some good thinking doing about what to do and how to do it. And this is now going to the next step, is okay, how will we, to make this real, have the access?
Yeah.
But there's no one, the town has not signed up to say we want to do this.
the town has signed up to do the research. That was on last year's warrant.
Okay.
So you have some leverage.
Yep. Yes, yeah. The town did approve us moving forward with doing the research to see if we could figure out how to get that land.
In other words, what I'm saying is they have an interest in, they're motivating. No, they don't.
Yeah. Well, that's, I think, eminent domain is a tough thing to do.
Yeah, and I don't want to go there, although, you know. Yeah, yep,
It's on
Yep.
insurance.
yeah,
Yeah. But I think one of the things that maybe would be constructive would be if you use some attorney time. Yeah, to actually to lay out the easement proposal. So you've got something that's concrete that you can present then to that authority that's making decisions for Rome Code. That to me seems like that's something that you'll want if you're gonna go for this.
we actually have already tagged it. It's,
Have you drafted what the legal documents would be to have the easement?
nope, I would think that would be, I would need a lawyer for that.
That's right. So that's that to me is a valid thing to ask, a lawyer to do, is to draft a legal document that would establish the easement that you want. Now, getting it agreed to, there you're stuck being able to negotiate with the authority for that trust.
Need description, they may want a survey, but we should have, yes, we'll consider.
Mhm.
Donating this piece of land. We'll survey something that you never. Attorney may, for the survey for me,
Mhm.
do have rough measures.
Yep.
We could take it down and say, well. This is what we need, this is what we're gonna go.
Yep,
Recreation area, right next to their subdivision may not be a bad thing for them either.
yeah, and the negative feedback that I'd gotten earlier from one of the individuals. Actually, once she realized where we wanted the easement, she was all for it. So, perception's everything. So, so I would just like to ask the board if I can, talk to a lawyer to see about how to move forward with this. And I don't know that we need a vote. We don't vote when we go talk to a lawyer about other things, but I just wanted to bring it up to the board.
I'll say, do not think we should spend money on the attorney for the Round Cove Trust. For the purposes you described, it doesn't seem it's appropriate.
She's talking about, our attorney.
No, our attorney, I could agree.
Well, that's
That's what she's saying.
Okay,
That's what she's saying. Yeah.
but that's not a proposal and if they investigate.
Kind of,
I'm stuck. I don't know what else to do
Right,
because,
right.
um.
it's just asking for advice at this point,
Mhm.
right?
Yep,
I said, I
gotta
think
move
we
forward.
could, start laying out the easement. Actually, take that action. And it may, as Jim said, it may then say you got to do a survey, but at least we've got the line, we're leaving black concern with that.
The last I talked to the Rum Cove lawyer, he was not even sure who can give the approval, but it wasn't him. And that's,
That's gonna be their
Fine.
problem.
right. So I'd like to go to the lawyer, our lawyer, then and talk to him and get his advice. And if it means drafting a document right away, if it means having a conversation so that the Rum Cove lawyer can say, we can't give any easement because it's in the bylaws or whatever. I don't know what research he has done to know even what is legal to do. I mean, there are hundreds of, over 100 acres that is in that, and I think the third house is just being built out of all that acres, so.
The other piece to this puzzle is, as we talked about with the DOT entrance, only the landowner can apply.
Mhm.
We laid out the best spot, most visibility. Will they approve it? I don't know. Something. We can fill in all the applications we want, we're not the landowners, so they won't.
Right,
So we don't even know if that will make the grade.
and then you said we still have to do some blasting.
Yeah.
I know.
The work done, getting that set on.
Yep.
And making sure we can get an entrance there.
Yep.
Before we put too much into this.
So you're saying,
We have plans, once we got the plans.
Yes, yes, yeah,
We know.
yeah,
so Jim, just to be clear, so you're saying that if Rum Cove Trust or whatever says, okay, yeah, we'll let you have the acre easement, then they have to apply to DOT? Cause they own,
Yeah, some filling out.
we could
Yeah,
probably
okay.
fill it out together then by that time, yeah.
I don't have to get it's no pending, this easement. DOT approval.
I think it's kind of that the person who needs it does the paperwork, the landowner then gets off.
Right now,
Very simple, she's got the application, it's very simple.
yeah, yep, so right now, the landowner is Rum Cove, who
Right.
hasn't given us permission to do anything, so. We're stuck,
Yeah.
we're just going in circles.
Just want to be clear, I don't think any money should be spent with the Round Cove.
Nope, I get that, that's,
Okay.
yes,
And if we're,
you said it.
and I think it's nuts if we're spending money to research who's the owner of Round Cove, we're gonna make a decision. But if that's,
I think you just say to your attorney, hey, we'd like an easement, can you?
Mhm. Can you help me? Can you make it?
That's what I said.
Yeah,
Our attorney will draft the stuff, go to their attorney, be like, we didn't know, make the offer to you.
Yeah.
And still won't figure it out.
I'll give a little bit of backup too, so they don't spend a lot of time doing the research, it's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I think, Park man, how do you manage the comments, right? So, you weren't coming here. Say. We're doing a situation, we'd like to develop on this, and give us an idea of how much bonds and what. Yeah. So, I'm sure you. Set up the next couple of steps and help with that, yes, you have just this exactly what I want. They'll tell you, this is, you know, the way to get point A to point B. And.
Yeah.
You know, that's a courtesy, it's a relationship. It's not gonna charge you for that.
Yep. Okay. Good, all right. Any other legal business or anything else?
Yes, I had the action of contacting the sheriff's department. This is going back to Baker Road about meeting with us and with the Greenleafs and the Green's attorney on the boundaries and again with Carl Olson. So Carl Olson said he could be available on schedule. I did get communication back from the chief deputy. I also had asked him about, just wanted to basically introduce him to the new select board, since I've been the point of contact for the last 3 years. And so on that first step, just to get to know him, and he said he actually could come to a meeting next Monday. If we'd be interested in having him come and just talk briefly about Baker Road.
And who is this again?
This is
It's Rand.
Ron McNamara, the chief deputy for the sheriff's department. And he could also come July 1st. But if we want to try and move things along, just kind of get them on board. Part of that is just because we need their support.
Well, if he's gonna meet the new select board, we can be here.
Well, that's, we'd want him to be here.
Well, that's what I'm thinking of, wonder about waiting until the first. Is he available on the first as well? Oh, you didn't ask.
He says at this point, he thinks he can also be the first. So I had given him our meetings and he said it could be available on the 24th. He can't meet on Thursday. Yeah, but he could meet the first.
He would come to our 6 o'clock meeting.
We'd have to say 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
I think it is important that he would meet him as well.
Yeah, it is important.
Yeah.
Because the three of you young ones are gonna have to
Yep.
be engaged.
So I'm thinking, wait for the first.
Well, we could always
No.
him to be here next week.
We wanted to go that way, but here we are. What?
You want flag? Well, the stuff in the corner.
Oh, yeah, he's filling in the corner.
Way up. He moved them sheds, it was too close to his property line next to me. He moved them down, I would say over his property line to the south, the two sheds that he.
Over his property towards under the
He went from.
mhm.
We walked them two sheds. And either way. And then they'll be over the line, that way 20 feet from it.
So they're in violation of the setbacks.
There was one.
We don't do anything about it.
Well, he moved them there, and he built them there. They
They're mobile, that's right.
They need to spend as much of the stumps and rocks and the trees and.
Yeah,
Yeah.
surprised they didn't accuse Davies of having moved.
Oh, but they did accuse Ross and George moving that bill along.
That's right, that's right. It's amazing what you can do with this.
Yeah, he's coming down here, you know, George Ross settled.
That's a,
So, on this issue with the chief deputy, so I'd like to be back to him, find out when Kim's available. And see,
sure.
Yeah. I think that's it.
because my interest is still to have it done as soon as we can. What?
We just want to get it over.
Agreed.
But it won't, this is just.
This is one positive step, and then from there, it's scheduling when we can actually have this discussion. Though at the rate it's going on that corner, we may be back to wanting to talk about how to remove the stuff, because it is, there's a starting point. Yeah, well, yeah, he's filled in the corner.
Those poor trees are dead now.
Well.
They're not even standing up.
no trust what they say.
All right.
Yes, he does all over the place.
That's why I just wanna go down there with some spray paint in the road and just go, here's the line right there. Not where you think it is.
Yep, all right, I'll check with Kim, see if I can get a hold of her and, let you know.
Yeah.
And it'll either be next Monday or then the following Monday. And that's just to meet with Rand, that's not even to meet with.
Right.
No, but we can get them coordinations. They're, Carl may be more flexible than deputies.
Yeah.
In the sheriff's department,
Yeah,
Yeah, he's pretty much retired, isn't he? He came to one of our other meetings.
yeah, but he is, and I talked to him about time, he does have clients, he is, working, so.
And I feel like we'd need to. That would be part of his job if we ask him to come here.
Yeah, and then the other parts will be to have the agreements. So it's gonna be a complicated schedule,
I know.
a four-part schedule.
Well, it's more alerting the Greenleafs that we're doing this, right? As opposed to having to have them there.
Well, it's true, they don't show, the difficulty is one of the things by having everyone see and say, Albert, Barbara, you see this? This is the boundary? No
Yeah.
more of this, I don't know where it is, or,
Yeah.
yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
And we have the police department there and their attorney there.
Right,
It's just, none of this is slam dunk, as we've learned,
yes,
but it's one more,
15 years.
and have to take pictures.
Right.
Always take pictures,
right,
so that we can, in fact, maybe we can take a little video of people hopefully nodding their heads.
yeah.
I'm just thinking, but I thought this came from the comment that you made, I think 2 weeks ago. It was an excellent, let's go back and,
Just, right.
yeah, meet and start, talk, and rather than
And then,
bringing in the juicy barriers.
right,
Yeah.
see what
The
happens.
guardrails,
Yeah.
Try some, be nice first.
yeah.
First, should be nice, but. I've been playing this game.
15 years. That's a long time to be nice. Yeah.
I've been like, this is like.
Yeah. Well, any other legal business?
Nope.
All right, then I'd like to move that we adjourn this meeting. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
All right.
Well, I can talk to you before you leave.
I'll talk to Kim.
Yeah.
Okay, which one's on?